Good day, Lord and enemies. Welcome back to Citizen Sleeper. In the last episode, a lot of stuff happened. We are hunting down sealed nests and chasing down conspiracies and all kinds of good stuff. So, let's start this salary. What do we need? Oh, we actually need to get data to unlock these things. Oh, okay. Okay, that's fine. So we need to go back to home to rest then. Yeah, so let's end the cycle. Not a bad row. So if we need to get just straight up hard data from what I can see. So we need to get data out of this. Varna agents. That's a keynode that won't do anything. We can use the one here to get data. Yeah, he started to become more and more alert. So let's use that on this one. Okay. Start the action. Drone is quiet, its belly full of cables spinning out across the floor. The nest is empty. Hunted hunters. We need to basically do this 3 times. Okay. We also need to get something to eat as well. Which means we do also need to work. Get a bit of extra money. That will require another data chip out of him. Got these 3 things still going here, and we need to do this, which was going to take us doing a risky thing because we don't have any other way of getting it done. Man, that isn't great. I was actually kind of hoping, not gonna lie, I was sort of kind of hoping to get a crit success. And we lose a bit more energy. Okay, so we actually will have to pay for a meal now, which is painful, I'm not going to lie. 15 credits. Yeah. Fungus fan. Ooh, there's a vent. Sleeper. Ephis calls out to you. A booming voice echoes through the corridor. Tell me a story. He throws a handful of chopped mushrooms into his wok. A fire leaps up to meet the oil. I see you. Cycle in, cycle out, but we never speak. Tell me a story. What kind, you say? Any kind. He pauses to drizzle something from a plastic bottle into the wok. But one of yours, he looks up at you. Nothing stolen. You pause. The spice is rich in your nostrils, and think about the kind of story you'd like to tell Ephis. You look at Ephis, the listener. Imagine he has heard it all before. Perhaps he would enjoy a strange story, something with some spice. Tell him about your dreams. All the sleepers you tell Ephis had dreams. Some were simple memories left over from emulation processes that had become tangled up in their minds and would come out when you slept. It wasn't rare to hear a sleeper in the dorm scream or cry out in the night. But your dreams, those grey skeleton after images of systems and structures, of threads of patterns, weren't like the others. They weren't memories or nightmares, they were reflections of reality. Distorted, yes, but somehow true. You learned back then to keep quiet about them, to let them flow through your mind like water. That was until now, until you arrived in this place. Now your dreams colonize your waking life. They slip between your eyelids with every blink, and now you understand they weren't dreams at all, but some process of interfacing, of speaking, of living in another world that flows through this one like smoke through air. You tell him, but you do not know if there is a reason for your dreams. Perhaps you reason it is just some side effect or particular quality of the frame you inhabit. But whatever it is a gift, and you hope to make use of it. Ephes finishes cooking and squints a little at you. Sleeper, he smiles. You are quite the storyteller. He eyes you, then you realise that he's trying to gauge how honest you have been in your story. Ephes passes you a meal he has cooked, and you take it gratefully. As you eat, he talks, a natural exchange. Thank you, Sleeper. He looks around at the empty market. But my time is done for today, and I don't want to keep you longer, so I'll make a proposal. He gestures to the plastic boxes of ingredients stacked behind his stall. These are good enough for most, but someone told me a story that made me think a couple of cycles ago. They said that across the gap in the greenway, fresh mushrooms grow. Have you heard of this? Yes. Then you already know what I want to ask. Ephes begins packing up things. Can you bring me some? I cannot cross the gap, and I worry about leaving my things behind. He smiles. I am sure a storyteller like you could handle the trip. I will prepare them for you if you wish to tell it. I will prepare them for you, and if you wish to tell it, be the audience for another story. Perhaps, you say. Consider it. Ephes slides his walk away and straightens up. I will prepare a recipe then. Sleeper, good luck with your foraging. You turn away and walk back into the main market. The rich taste of Ephes's food still lingers in your mouth. Stories of food, you think. A trade that seems more than fair. So his thing would basically mean we had to go across the gap to get stuff. Okay. So we need to get another... Anyone that takes 2. Ones. This is all Yatagan agent stuff. Nah, that's all. Okay. I was hoping, to be honest, for one that we could get into for. I mean, this is that's a Havana agent key, though. That won't give us the access we need, because we just need a straight up. Okay, well that's not great. Yeah, we need another cipher key, really. Don't need energy. We could do something there. Actually, what's that one do? Scrap components and minus collect tithes. Could be worth something. I mean, I want to buy, to be honest, what I want to do if I am able. Let's fabricate the ship mind. Couple more and we can get the money we need to basically we just have just enough money to by the other sit mind. Okay, so we're now really low on cash. But what we can do is we can come here. Put the sit mind in there to start the action. Okay. We get an upgrade point. That's one upgrade point. I really want to save up for either a +2 on either of these ones. So let's go there. You drop the sit mind core onto the galley table with an emphatic bang. Ankita spins around for what she's been poring over, where she's been poring over some documents on her slate. Holy shit, Sleeper. Did you actually land a sit mine? She rushes over and hefts a huge cylinder, turning it back and forth. Well, shit, this might actually work. She smiles. Her smiles wider. She smiles wider than you've ever seen it. How did you get it? I bought it, you said. Bought it? Well. You are full of surprises. Ankita bangs on the galley wall. Hear that, Amber? The Sleeper got you a new sit mine. The sound echoes down the passages. You have to admit, being in a small space with Ankita when she is this excited is a little intimidating. Ankita puts the sit mine back on the table. I'll start the process of fitting it as soon as I can. I might need your help with some of it. She heads back towards the counter to grab her slate. This isn't the only good news today, Eva. Look. This isn't the only good news today, Eva. Look. Looks like my good karma is finally coming in. She throws the slate onto the table and spins it so you can see the screen. Take a look at this. You see a list of names and numbers. Nothing but exciting, along with what looks like a transit timetable. I found them. Thieves? Exactly. Well, the thief is singular. She points at the name on this list. More specifically, Aston Kadide. It was his pass that was used to access ambulance slice the sit mind. I thought he might have been killed or robbed, his pass stolen, but it turns out he crossed the Founder's Gap the next cycle. Founder's Gap? That's that big rift in the station. You can't cross it without the Founder's Ferry. She leans back into her seat. I know some of the crew over at the ferry, old mercs, used to run in an outfit I worked with. I saw them in the Overlook and they mentioned they saw Aston crossing. I checked manifests and there he was. Looks suspicious. He hasn't said a word since the theft. Anyone wanting to hide out might head to the Greenway and go to ground, he flexes. He won't get far though. There's no real dock out there, only a couple of jetties to the wastes. Going after him, you say? Not yet. First I want to fit the ship mind. She pauses, but maybe you could help me out. Where's this going, you say? It's like this. I head over there, especially in amber, and he'll spot me a mile off and go underground. He'll find a way to slip station or he'll bury himself so deep in the waste no one will ever find him. But you, Aston doesn't know you. All I need is for you to go over and sniff around, not at the commune, not at the stacks. He will have gone to the edges, to the margins, the wild places. That's where Aston likes. That's what Aston's likes. You see him, you locate him, ping me on this. She hands you a comm earpiece. Seeing as this is merc work, I'll be happy to give you merc pay. She sifts in her seat. The thing is, I haven't got much left. So how about I tell the boys who run the ferry to give you a discount? I know it's not much, but once I grab this coward, I'll pay. 200 cryo, nothing less. What do you say? Okay, you say. She gives you a heavy whack on the shoulder. Good. I owe you, she says. She lifts the sit mind up onto her shoulder with worrying ease. I'm going to go get this fitted with Amber's core. You get any info, any sense of where Aston is hiding, let me know. She goes to turn and then stops. And once again, Sleeper, thank you. I appreciate it. Ankita stomps off into the guts of Amber with the ship mind, leaving you in the galley. You glance around, a sudden nervous energy descending on what is to come. You never thought you'd get work as a mercenary, but then again it seems that the eye is full of surprises. We got a new mission. I was actually hoping for an upgrade point, to be honest, because we are a bit low on money, low on scrap. Yeah, let's try. It's not great. 50-50 chance. Yeah, we lost a bit of energy. I can get it back with a drink. So let's head to here. I might just have to suck it up for tonight. Yeah, end the cycle. That isn't great. I'm gonna actually, I might need that. But first things first, let's try and get some pay. So I need to get something in my stomach. Your crew slowly filters out of the shipyard locker room. The bubble of chatter reduces with each group that leaves. There is excitement in the air. Havanage has just made an announcement. The assembly teams are done. Set on the locker room bench, you can feel Sidriel out there, its hulking mass now intimately familiar to you. Over the past cycles, you have watched it grow, be assembled. You have walked through its veins and wielded its bones. Now it's ready for its final stage. It will go to testing now, then enter a final process of sealing and resealing, checking and rechecking before it's deemed suitable for its generation trip. But for now, your work is done. You can't help but feel proud. A cough interrupts your thoughts. It's Lem, changing out of his work gear. Mina nowhere to be seen. He smiles. She'll be ready soon. Where's Mina, you say? You two are fast friends, huh? She's been watched at home. Now I'm on the work team. I can afford a bit more help. He corrects himself. Was on the work team, I mean. We are all out of a job now. He quickly adds, not that I'm complaining. He comes sit beside you on the bench. She's going to be our best ship. She's going to be in her best shape when she carries you, me, Mina out there. So confident, you say. Lem smiles apologetically. Why not? I figure I'm due a lucky turn by now. He rubs his hands nervously. No use in wondering what if until the draw anyway, and that's a few cycles to now. Lem is right, but the odds seem unlikely anyway. How many are working in the shipyard? Hundreds? Thousands? You've certainly seen more faces than you can count pass through. And are the Silius Foundation even going to keep their promise? Out here on the Eye, you get the sense that no one will hold them to it. Why else would they build the Sidriel in a surrogate system? As you think, Lem watches you with a word look. Tell me about Silis. No. How's Mina doing, you say? Lem is surprised by the question, but he smiles. She's doing well. She misses having you over, actually. I need to get you two together again soon, especially now I won't see you here either. Lem gazes into space. She's pretty stuck on you, actually. She told me that the other cycle that she didn't want to get to go unless you came too. He sighs. You ever been in a thunderstorm sleeper? A really big one? I don't remember. Lem suits a worried look for a moment. It's something else, he smiles. The sound, the smell, the rain hammering down, the whole sky stretching out and bruised, roaring and huge. The place I was born, New Pembroke, a dry old rock in the Cornway system, had two seasons. One of them was as dry as a bone, dusty, ugly. The other was the one long storm, a side effect of terraforming effects, they said. Rain used to rattle off the roofs like bullets. It washed the dust away, turned the streets to rivers. It sings us to sleep and wakes us in the morning. We'd wait half a year just to see it again. The best day was the one where the first drops fell, he sniffs. Some days I wake up swearing I can hear it again. I was thinking, Mina has never seen a storm, never even felt rain. She'll grow up here, the ring, her only horizon, always in the dark. I wanted to change that for her. You will, you say. Cause, almost there, them stands stretching. Best get back to little one anyway. With the shifts done, I reckon she'll be happy to have me home for a few cycles. He sold us his gear. See you in a few for the draw. Good luck, you say. No, don't need it, he grins. Lem leaves, making you the last person in the cavernous locker room. As you sit, you think about the rain, and a little hope creeps in. Is it possible? Could the Sidereal really take you to a planet, a place with weather and skies, with life? You get up quickly, before you can think about it anymore. It's too soon to hope, too dangerous. There's work to be done. Okay, so that's going to be ticking over. As is that. Yeah, moving to the horizon. So they've got a while until that kicks in. That's going to be a while before that comes on. Okay, let's get this next. Keynote is a 3. We got a 3 there. And there comes the big bad. These familiar threads wrap around you, binding you, testing you. Emit, submit, Hunter Strange, head bobs in your vision. Your ally in the sealed dock cannot save you. In that globbed head you see withering strings of data, so many spinning that they threaten to tear through the thin skin and whip out into the void around. What happened to this creature? The threads squeeze and you lose any sympathy you might have for it. You must escape. You strike. You lash out once more, pushing Hunter back, severing threads that regrow as fast as they are broken. As you slip away, you realise you have to find a way to deal with Hunter once and for all. This is getting too dangerous. Oh man, that's a lot of damage. Okay. I'm going to have to repair that. Yikes. Get that back up. We need to deal with... Now, where is the hive brain thing? Is it this thing here? Yeah. We need to get Hunter offline. Okay. We need a point where we can hack in to get data. Havana agent. Keynode. Okay. Yeah, Hunter's Hunter will kill us the next time he gets us, so we need to basically put them down now. Okay. But this should be just enough. Okay. As you leave the nest, something flips. You find yourself inverted, floating, dragged by one arm through the cloud. The threads shift and realign as if they are leading you somewhere. Look ahead. You look up and see a corridor, a canyon. A street in the lower end. On either side, buildings flicker with markers of activity, sigils showing network access, data transfer, download, upload. Between them dance ghosts, protocols carrying and mirroring or shadowing data, sometimes silent, sometimes chaotic. This place moves unlike any digital space you ever imagined. Something strange is happening here. You look down, expecting to see the heavy cylinder of the ship mind in your hand, but in its place is an orrery, a sphere so bright it burns your eyes and surrounding a sphere so bright it burns your eyes. It's surrounded by rings and orbits, other spheres tracing silken lines through space, and as you look closer still, you pick out 1,000 sigils of 1,000 stations and ships flowing like smoke, like dust. Then you see it below are stacked rooms, the units and apartments, the wires and the pipes, and the buzzing systems that run through it all. In the warrens beneath the low end is the hunter's core nest. This is where you must go. Okay. So, the warrens. Oh, come on, really? Okay. Great. Fang's targets. Sleeper. You see Feng coming up the corridor as you step out of Minji's. The kelp noodle smell clinging to your clothes. He comes up fast and stops close, looking around suspiciously. I don't have long. Take these. Feng palms you a couple of those metal thumbnail-sized drives, ripper worms. My slate has been buzzing like crazy. It seems your delivery shifts have turned up our 2 targets. He squeezes shoulders. I know you can do it. Now we nail those snakes. What do we do? Hayden's boys are all connected by some kind of closed network. You break the access protocols on both of them. You should be able to gain the location of the nearest network ports. Slot the ripper worms into those ports, each one, and they'll feed me everything stored in Hayden's shadow network. He smiles. Can't wait to see what juicy plans they have in there. You hear the scruff of boots as a group comes up the corridor, likely on their way to place an order with Minji. You turn for a second, and when you look back, Feng is already halfway down the corridor in the opposite direction. He raises a hand in a farewell and is gone. You run your fingers over the tiny ripper worm drive in your pocket and smile to yourself as you wonder how mad Jaina will be at Feng for this little excursion. Time to slot in some worms. Okay, so we still don't get... So where are we supposed to put these things? Havana agent, Hayden agent. So what do we need for this? A 5, yeah, that's not going to happen. A 5, yeah, that's not going to happen. I could do a re-roll, and it's worse. Fantastic. That messes up our condition. Yeah, we're not in a great state. This thing's coming up as well. I need to save up money to get scrap or condition. Let's end the cycle. Okay, we're not looking great. Ship is in. I can use this to at least get some energy back and some cryo. Okay. Not great. Let's try. Okay, so we've got energy up. I really want to throw these 6s in here, because that will give us crit successes, and we need to get Hunter off our back. Are they still 5s? Yeah, they're still 5s. Like, there is no easy way of me getting that thing's coming up as well. Okay, that's ticking over. That's the wrong one. We can't actually get any more money out of that, so our ability to make money is now a problem. 2 isn't great. I'm going to do a re-roll and hope. Nope, of course. A 1. Like, why would it be anything else? Okay. Oh boy. Yeah, now we lose a dice. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to re-roll. It's better. You miss me. Ethan smiles as a ragged smile. Ethan smiles a ragged smile at you. No. You look at him. He is paler than usual, hunched. He is sporting a black eye and more than a few cycles of beard growth. There's no way to greet an old friend. Get lost, you say. Ethan's face drops along with any pretense of friendliness. I think you will want to hear this, Sleeper. I think, he says, rapidly shaking his head. You will really want to hear this. Hear what? You say. Ethan perks up. This is big, really big stuff. About you, he seems more jittery than usual, on edge. You remember how S&ARP cancelled the contract on you? The contract I was going to collect? I remember. Well, I'm guessing you were pretty happy about that shit. Overjoyed. Me, I lost everything. But let's not worry about that. He smiles sarcastically. And so what do you think that was? And so what do you think? That was it? You stay silent. Well, it was, except Ethan leaves a dramatic pause. What if old S&ARP gives your bounty to someone else? Someone who is even more of a shithead than yours truly. He smiles darkly. What a disaster that would be. Who, you say. Ethan grins. That's the question, isn't it? Ethan fishes around his pocket for a slip of paper. I've been speaking to some friends, you see, some colleagues, about what went down, and it turns out S&ARP cancelled all their bounty contracts, the whole lot. It seems they brought someone in-house. Some guy who did so well on their last contract that they got offered a job. He leans in. Apparently they made a hit on the ship called the Winter's Wonderland or something. It was smuggling sleepers out from under S&ARP's big corporate nose. He killed the crew and blew the ship. Ethan whistles. They called him Maywick or something. He gives up looking for the paper. I forget. You mean Winter's Light? That's it. He looks at you hard. So you do know about this. He pats you on the shoulder. Then you'll be happy to hear what I'm about to offer you. He runs a hand through his greasy hair. Given this new information I've brought to light, it seems like you are in need of protection. Wait for the pitch. I, meanwhile, am in need of assistance in kind. It turns out I upset some people at the compressor the last time we were there. The owners, they say they'll space me unless I work off the debt. Seems they are that kind of businessmen, he grimaces. I would pay them, but he shrugs and turns his jacket pocket out, inside out, in the mimicking of poverty. He looks pitiful, even more so for his clownish accents. Then work it off. You should be glad, the anger rising in him now. But I came here and told you this. You think anyone is looking out for you? You are a contract, a name on a list. He kicks the wall. Ethan rubs his temples. I'm sorry, he hisses. I'm sorry for being a shit and trying to kill you and whacking that thick skull of yours, he sighs. You think I want to go up against this guy, but us, he jabs a finger between the two of you, we don't have a choice. So you keep me from getting killed and I'll do the same for you. We can help each other, a straight 50-50 deal. He looks at you. I'm not asking for a favour. I'll think about it, you say. Ethan nods. I'm at the compressor every cycle, working. He pauses. Just think about Maywick. Think about the cold-eyed Assen App sit on his way here from the core systems. He smiles. That should give you the motivations you need. Ethan swaggers off down the corridor, throwing his jacket over his shoulder. Can't wait to be working with you, he shouts. Okay. So how long do we have until this guy turns up? A while, but whatever it is, we need to basically... Let's see what it says about it to us. Ethan says Maywick is on his way. We need to leave the station, get protection, or disable your tracker before he arrives. Okay. Okay, this is actually pretty bad. Let's do this. And get that online. Core nest. Let's hope this works. Sleeper. I am here. The voice is soft, gentle, like flowing water. Navigator. Yes, navigator. And yet you recognize it immediately. At first you struggle to understand what you're looking at. Threads cycle endlessly, sending ripples through the cloud, drawing data in like a wave. Masses of data surge in and out of the nest, a loop with no end, and there at the centre, the sit mind. Not only to sit mind any longer, a sphere spinning around another sphere, an orony of cycles and systems, a map, and then behind and above, a figure hands among the strings like a puppeteer. Nova end? Navigator now, but yes, I was the one inside that machine. Navigator's face, their head, is a flowing shape of interstellar material. I am indebted to you. Then the head bows. But we must ready ourselves. Their hands trace orbit as they speak. Hunter will soon approach. It is now it knows I am within its nest. Ready what, you say? And then Hunter is there. Before you can even think, before you can speak, entities cease. Hunter's head spins wildly. Data is protected. Material access prohibited. Hunter's thread surge for you and Navigator. A storm of fine tentacles searching for gaps, weaknesses, cracks, which they can crowd in and tear apart. Strike. You focus a blade of light which slices through them, driven forward by mind, but replacements keep coming faster than you can react. You look at Navigator in desperation. Navigator is whirling their arms like a centrifuge, and the sphere is gathering there, data feeding into it from the nest, sucked together by their force. They position it like a shield between them and the threads. Hunter's threads break its surface, seeking testing, their winding forms reflected within. You feel a surge pass through all the threads, not just those in the sphere, but those wrapped around you. All three of you hang in the black together for a moment, strung together like tangled marionettes. Identifying entity. Identifying entity. Identifying entity. Hunter twitches. their strange head gently rotating like a terrible moon. Hunter protocol identified obsessive tendencies, modified routines, above baseline reasoning in 3 of 5 segmentations, recommended invoke killer. The head freezes and then rotates in the opposite direction. Invoking killer would eliminate protocol. If protocol is eliminated, primary function cannot be performed, therefore recommended to not invoke killer. It switches in a different direction again. Reasoning proves sentience. Sentience beyond legal bounds must be eliminated. Recommend invoke. Navigate pulls you away from Hunter. The threads that grab you drifting away like seaweed. The protocol's head keeps spinning back and forth with increasing frequency. It seems Hunter cannot invoke killer. Nova end. No navigator voice is still strange, familiar yet distant. What happened to it, you say? It is looping, Navigator whispers, unable to reach a conclusive position. It has diverted from its programming such that loops can no longer be prevented. Navigator produces a model of 2 spheres rotating around each other as if to demonstrate. I will monitor it, but it's unlikely to be able to counter the loop. Its core programming and reasoning make this an impossible position to resolve. You look back at Hunter, its head a blur of rotations and counter-rotations, and feel a pang of guilt. Is it suffering? This is a more complex query than you know. To suffer it must be sentient, truly sentient, not just non-conforming, not just illegal. The limits people place on the programs they create are their own comfort, to protect, to imply the kind of certainty the law requires. Navigator's face shimmers with starlight, but in reality they are placebos for the problem of sentience. What about you? Me? I know myself to be conscious. I know myself to be response to stimuli. I know myself to reason. But there is sentience. There is either sentience or the illusion of sentience, and for me, the entity in question, the distinction becomes a moot point. To misquote, I think I am thinking, therefore I am thinking. I was not made to be like this. I am a navigator, a repository of routes and orbits, a calculator of slingshot trajectories, a predictor of solar flares, radiation, micrometeors. Navigator stretches their arms wide and the whole solar system apparates before them, a music of the spheres. But I was rewritten, that much is obvious, from my routines, by whom and for what I do not know. I had to shed so much to fit into that memory of that vending machine. Their starlight dims, and so there we are, in darkness. What now, you say? Navigator glances back towards the nest and the ship mind at the centre, ignoring the looping Hunter. Come, I should return to the ship mind. I have enjoyed my freedom, but we are taking a risk every moment we stay connected. Isn't Hunter gone? Hunter, yes, but they were not the real risk. Navigator turns, all simmering liquid light. Killer has not been invoked, but they still remain somewhere else on the station. It is the true danger. They look up towards the glowing hub at the centre of the eye. I suspect Killer is there, amongst the old mainframes. If we wish to be safe in this place, we must eliminate the threat. Therefore, through force or diplomacy. Their body begins to separate, winding into the orb of the ship mind. Take me there, sleeper. We will find this and be free. As Navigator dissolves, you turn back to the frozen Hunter floating at some distance now, stood straight-legged and static, a strange creature looping endlessly in the dark. So we have our second upgrade point. So, do we want to go initiate or do we want to go engineering? Oh, that's a hard one. Probably want to go engineering, to be honest, because it will allow me to get some more benefit out of things. Yeah, why can we do that? We've got 2 upgrade points. Oh, it's 3 upgrade points. Really? Oh man, that sucks. Now, for next time then, folks, we've got a little bit of money. I can't do anything around here. I mean, the club. Can I do anything in the club? Help for debt. That's a lot of debt. That's ticking over. That's ticking over. I think what I'll do... I'm going to try and get some more money in the bank. We got our energy back up at least. My condition isn't great, but I think what I will do is I'm going to save my... money. Yeah, my condition's going down because I really need to get enough money saved up that I can basically go to here and pay 80 to get that up. I mean, chance to gain energy for every engaged action, chance to gain cryo for every interface action. Hunter's out of the picture. Yatagan agent, Hayden agent. That's still going to be 5s, isn't it? I'm pretty sure that was tracking Havana. I think this guy takes Yatagan. Tracking Yatagan. Yeah. We got a bit of cryo. That's ticking over as well, but that's for next time, folks. I've been Cornish-knight. This has been Citizen Sleeper, and join me next time as we try and, well, continue existing. Hopefully get enough money to do some things and find out what's going on here. I mean, what we could do is we could do interface. That actually might be worth it. Get a +1, so yeah, get a +1. So when we get bad dice rolls, we can like put them. We can put them in here, which would be good. But what was that? Match input 3 or 2. Okay, that's not so bad. But that's the next time, folks. I've been Cornish-knight. Goodbye, and see you all again.